made it! You might be wondering why I'm at IKEA. Well, let's just say that the fixed bed with the drawer didn't work as planned. And so I'm here to revise that into a fixed bed with a slide out extension. All right, we have all of the parts, or at least I hope we do, and we are headed back home. I bought more than I needed, just in case, but at the end of the day, I only used one Scorva beam, one set of queen bed slats, and I didn't use any of the section suspension rails that I purchased. I'll include the SKUs down below. I had to demo the platform before we could make a plan. We've gone ahead and pulled almost all the bed platform out. I've got to get these trim pieces off. I still got to get this piece off. There's a screw back in the back. Reminder, keep your screws exposed so that you can remove things. Next up, I'm gonna pull all of the brad nails out. See these? Next up, I'm gonna get this piece out. There's a screw back there that I can't get to. So I'm gonna try to pry this little bit of trim out back there with the putty knife and a hammer. Sweet. Last piece out. Having a vision is half the battle. I have absolutely no idea how we're going to make this work, but I'm confident that we will. Here I am trying to figure out the best path forward. Beyond this, I have no idea what Dad's plan is. He's talking about insetting some plywood in between those rectangles, but I'm not quite sure what he means. So I kind of need a drawing, but this is pretty close to what we were talking about. So this is the sliding section that will slide in and come back out. these are about 30 inches, and the second set will be fixed across there and will come in and slide in to these gaps, and the gaps will probably be bigger, maybe. These will end up getting screwed into the beam, and the rails won't actually sit on this edge. We're talking about the other metal piece, the bracket, will actually sit here, and then these will snap in to there so that it can slide easily and not have to worry about this. But we're gonna have to cut those down. So.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out your idea.
No, that's not how it's gonna work.
Well, I know, but that's why I was like, I don't know what your vision is.
You have to have the plywood to come up even with these.
Yeah.
So that this will sit on top of it. See?
Yeah, okay.
And then
Those will be mounted lower.
these will come in between,
Yeah.
and those will be mounted lower.
Yep. That was just my mock-up.
And you won't be using this.
No?
Not at all.
What do you mean?
That's unneeded.
So what's going to hold
These will sit right on here.
it? Oh, but we've got to screw them into something.
You screw them into the front one. It's the only place you screw it in.
How do they stay where they're supposed to be when they slide back in this way? They need to overlap a little bit.
What do you mean overlap? They'll be like
yeah,
be like
those
that.
need to overlap.
That's
yeah.
how it's gonna be.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and then that thing you're gonna have to put a stop so it only goes
Yeah.
out so far,
Yeah.
and that's
Okay.
it.
Okay.
You need to have strips that will be screwed to support the plywood that's gonna sit even with this.
Yeah. Did you guys get all that? Before we could do anything else, I needed to prep the platform. My first task for this afternoon is to shift all of these down so that we can insert a 1/2 inch plywood piece in here and also in here across this rectangle, and this rectangle. And I'm going to remove this. So there was a light here. We're gonna move it over here, down here. And I've gotta move this and these two cable ties down. And then where the light goes, I gotta fill this gap in and then put this here. That looks better. And look, made a insert. First coat of paint has been applied to the block that we added. I am so excited to get started on this part of the project. That's how it's gonna go. I'm using a ruler to mark where the support pieces need to be attached. We're using 3/4 inch plywood left over from the van build to support the 1/2 inch plywood that will be inset in the rectangles. This is what we just did. Put these little boards in here so that when we put the 1/2 inch in, it's smooth across these edges. So once we get all that cut, or all of these cut, then we have to cut 1/2-inch boards to fit within each of these rectangles.
You got your clamps.
Alright, so all of these little inserts that we're gonna lay 1/2-inch ply on are set. This one over here we couldn't nail in, so we just used glue and some clamps. We'll let that sit overnight. Next up, we are cutting 1/2-inch plywood left over from the original bed platform to fit within the frames we just created.
Oh man, is that nice.
Nice. Are we gonna nail that in?
You probably want to be able to take it out.
Yeah.
So we'll drill pilot holes
Okay.
and then countersink them.
Yep. I just took the lid off of this massive drawer because we're going to repurpose it for the trapdoor, hidden door underneath the fixed portion of the mattress so that I can get to the switches on top of the distribution panels. We just attached the trapdoor, hidden door. Hidden door is probably better. Now it opens. Sweet! Look, it's back in, and we got our trap door again. Fancy metal bandsaw. As we tried to put some metal rails up here, but the metal beam does not slide very well on the metal rails. So the next idea is to mount a 2x2 here. Got to figure out the exact height, and then rest this Scora beam from IKEA on top of the 2x2, and we're gonna put some wooden blocks underneath the edges, so that wooden blocks underneath the edges with some slidey stuff, for lack of better words, because I can't find the words right now. Do that so that it slides nice and smooth across this 2x2. All right, let's see if this fits. I don't know what side this is. Not that side. This side. Yes. All right, so that's the driver's side. And I got my passenger side, hopefully. Nice. Yes. Okay. So right there. Passenger. All right, what's next? So I cannot get these staples out. I tried a staple remover, tried some needle nose pliers, I tried a screwdriver. I'm at a loss for how to get those out. So for right now, I'm just gonna cut all of them. Cut all this ribbon off. All right, so I just placed all of them strategically, and hopefully this works. I'm gonna drill the holes in the slats and then attach them. Here's the template I'm using to drill all of the holes. Also, I cut spacer blocks so that each slat is evenly spaced. Good morning. Today I am getting ready to adhere or attach these 2x2s. You see that? Attach those so that they can support the Scora beam from IKEA, which then, once those are attached, then I can attach the portion of the sliding bed to the Scora beam, and we'll have a working bed. Here I'm cutting the 2x2 blocks to support the Scora beam and serve as sliding surfaces on the mounted 2x2s. Now I'm marking and cutting the felt pad for the blocks. I'm marking where I want these blocks to be placed on the Scora beam. Since I'm mounting the blocks to a metal beam, I'm going to cut some 1/4-inch plywood into squares so that I can countersink the screws. I needed an extra hand, so I called in my mom to help figure out the exact height and location of the Scora beam so that the slats can slide easily. Now, I think this, oh yeah, we got enough room. The next thing I'm gonna do is for the 2x2 where they meet with this molding, I'm gonna notch out the 2x2 so that it comes around the edge of this molding and looks seamless. All right, I cut it. Let's try it again. Hopefully it fits this time. Oh, that's better. It's not perfect. You see that? There's a little bit of a gap, but it's better than it was. It's time to sand. All right, let's get these 2x2s mounted. Here's the true test. Does it slide? And is it level? Oh my gosh, it slides. And it's level. Alright, so I'm going to use this little tape template to mark and drill where all the holes go. All 28 of them, and we just set up the drill press, which is right there. So I'm going to go do that. All of the slats are in. Let's test it. Nice. Works. That's amazing. These last 4 screws going in, my bed is finally put back together, but in its newest form. All right, the mattress is here. The bed works, it slides out. So I'm gonna open the mattress up and let it rest here for the next 48 to 72 hours before we cut it. Hey, Rose. So here's the mattress that I bought, and it's a full. We're gonna cut it down and then cut down the original mattress that I put in there. So let's get this bad boy out of the box and into the van. Okay, I decided to rotate it to give it a little more room to grow, expand. But yeah, here it is. For now, we still gotta cut it. Welcome to my spacious bedroom slash office space, living room, dinette, storage, you name it. That's what this space does. I'm going to end the video here because it's getting pretty long, but I wanted to catch you up on a couple things. I have been sleeping in here since I finished the bed modification for the last month, and I learned some things. The first was that I needed to put a footboard on it so that the second mattress or the insert wouldn't slide. And I needed to add some sliding locks so that the sliding portion didn't slide in if it got pushed or nudged. So I did that and I'm in love. I feel so much comfier and I get better sleep because I have more room to sprawl out like a complete starfish, and it's amazing. And I no longer have to contort or twist my body around Blaze because we have enough space. I can be sprawled out, she can be sprawled out, we can be snuggled together. It's a win-win. If you're curious about any questions about the bed or van life in general, feel free to drop them down in the comments, and I hope that you will like and subscribe this video. Next week I am coming out with another van upgrade modification video, and this one's gonna be awesome, y'all. So I hope to see you next week, and take good care of yourselves and of each other. Bye for now.